Welcome everyone, Rabid here, and the futures of PC gaming and computers in general looks like they're getting slower, not faster. While we're waiting for all this new hardware to emerge that's going to boost up our next builds, it's looking like we're kind of going the opposite way because AMD and Nvidia are launching older hardware, not newer hardware, due to the AI demand for consumers. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't plan on buying any old piece POS type of hardware when there's better stuff available, especially with what I currently have. But just to look at what's going on here, look at the current situation when it comes to DDR5 RAM. It is sold out everywhere. And when you can finally see something in stock, it is a stupid high price, not worth picking up at all. But like sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Now we can finally see DDR5 5600 8 gigabyte stick of RAM, $147. That is insane. Scrolling on down, we have sold out, sold out. Got to go to the next page. Sold out, sold out. Now we have a 5600 16 gigabyte single stick, and pretty high in the latency, like not that great RAM, and it's $200 for one stick. It is insane. Here we have a single stick of still 5600 for 218. Now most of us want at least 6000 megahertz RAM. Here is two 32 gigabyte sticks. Oh, that's not even it. Single 16 gigabyte 4800. Like I don't even know, is there any 6000 RAM? Oh, here's one. We got a single 16 gigabyte of 6000 megahertz RAM for $240. This is pretty insane. I was grabbing a bunch of that T-Force DDR5 6000 megahertz RAM at like, I don't even know, it was like $120 for two 16 gigabytes. So like RAM has at least over doubled in price. And the same thing is happening with hard drives. It is either sold out or super expensive. Here we can see 1 terabyte M2 SSD for $160. We were able to pick this up for like $60. Remember, these are Canadian prices as well, so a little cheaper in the US, but like things are over double in price. It is absolutely insane. And that's just standard things like RAM and hard drives. Are you looking for ASIC miners but just not sure who to trust? From most popular brands to bestsellers to miners of the week and even deals of the moment, ASIC Mining Central has you covered to the cheapest prices out of any ASIC website, as well as import fees will be low with low tax with DDP or invoice, and code RABID will grant you an additional $50 off your order. Head on over to ASIC Mining Central today for all your ASIC mining needs. Links down in the description. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Now, coming into CPUs and GPUs, obviously AM5 when it comes to DDR5 memory, we can't see any memory and it's super expensive to get some. So AMD is looking to bring back AM4 processors. That is insane. AM4, that's your 3900Xs, that's your 5900Xs, your 3 and 5000 series for the DDR4 RAM. We're seeing 3700Xs and stuff, 5900Xs, AM4 platform CPUs selling now for more than frickin' 7000 and 9000 series CPUs due to the fact that people don't want them because you can't find RAM, and if you can, it's stupid high expensive. So we're seeing AM4, really cause a massive demand. Now, if you have a bunch of AM4 processors or something, it might be a good idea to possibly try and sell them because of this. It's just insane on what's going on now. Now that's the CPU side of things. Let's look at the GPU side of things. We can't find 5090s or 5000 series anywhere. It looks like Nvidia wants to bring back the RTX 3060s again. It's like, what? Our PCs are getting much slower, not faster. I know I do not plan on buying any RTX 3060s. I don't plan on buying any AM4 platforms, especially as the price is starting to cost more for those CPUs. So it is pretty crazy on what's going on right now, especially gamers that want a new PC. And it sucks because we got to go back to the Stone Age. We may as well buy like a Macintosh Apple IIe at this point because that's all we're going to be able to get. They're going to bring back the Apple IIe to help compete with floppy drives against AI. What is happening, guys? So when it comes to gamers, you're pretty much getting screwed every which way you could possibly think of. Now, for a bunch of you miners out there, we might have a second chance to offload hardware. One, the 3000 series going up in prices. Obviously you can try to sell those on the used market and stuff, get some of your money back for them to upgrade to the 9000 series as the price seems to be coming down, and then just wait for the AI bubble to pop so that you can pick up RAM for pretty much free once it happens, because the market is going to be flooded with all this new hardware eventually when this bubble does pop. Now, the other thing is for GPU miners as well, you might have a bunch of the old 3000 series laying around. And if so, prices are starting to come up on them because no one can find hardware again. And now you're probably going to be able to sell a lot of your older hardware. So a lot of the stuff is, depending if you have inventory, don't have inventory, it might work out in your favor. But for the most part, if you're looking to build any new PC, gaming PC, mining rigs, anything, it's looking very expensive and most likely not worth it at all. But again, this is a bubble. Most likely it's going to pop. And when it does, we're going to see very cheap hardware flooding the market. So be ready for that, but it could take a couple years for that to finally come in. All right, guys, so that pretty much does wrap up this video. But for the most part, it looks like AMD and NVIDIA are both bringing back older hardware to help fight to help out consumers, I guess, to help fight against the AI shortages. Now, it's not that they're cutting back on all their new hardware. They're absolutely not doing that because they're making tons of money that way. They just want to sell it to AI. So as much as it looks like they're trying to help consumers, they don't really care about us, the consumer, at all. They're making tons of money. If they really wanted to help us, they would release more for the consumers. But why would they want to do that when they have AI paying premium, top dollar for all their hardware? So obviously it's just like what we saw with NVIDIA when Ethereum was insane. Backdoor deals going out the back like crazy. Well, us in the forefront on the consumers are kind of, being left out of everything. So, as much as it seems like they're trying to help us, they're not. They're making more money than ever because of all this. They're smiling, they're sitting back in their awesome chairs and just, puffing on their big cigars. But meanwhile, we are paying the price for it like every time something happens. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.